because I'm going to tell you something about women that you probably already know, but you don't realize that you know it yet. Women don't fall in love with men. They fall in love with the men who can guide them. If that doesn't make sense to you, think of it this way. Women fall in love with their college professors and not their classmates. Why? Because they're drawn to authority, not equality. They want guidance, not the partnership they're always squawking about on TikTok. Because the man who leads her mind automatically leads her emotions. This isn't romance, guys. This is nature. You see, gentlemen, a college professor has what most young men do not, which is authority, composure, age, direction, patience, and power. And women instinctively respond to that combination. Why? Because guidance feels like protection to the feminine, and protection feels like love. A man who teaches her becomes a man she can trust. A man she can trust becomes a man she respects. And a man she respects becomes a man she can fall for instantly. Respect escalates to admiration. Admiration escalates to attachment. And attachment escalates to what feels like love to her. It is the most predictable sequence in female psychology. But here's the part that most men refuse to accept. A woman is not turned on by potential. She's turned on by a man who has already walked the path and can show her the way. This is why the equation of age plus teacher plus authority equals turned on. And this combination hits a lot harder than it looks. It triggers something of a paternal archetype in her psychology. Not in a creepy way, but in a biological evolutionary one. Women don't want a man who wants to learn together. They want a man who already knows. Because a mentor doesn't ask questions. He gives answers. He doesn't seek direction. He provides it. And these things make him emotionally magnetic. So the quick math here is that a woman bonds with the man who elevates her, not the man who entertains her. Modern men want to impress women. Wise men want to teach them. Because a woman's attention grows fastest in the presence of a man she can learn from. And my wife is the perfect example of this. When I met her, I wasn't this 6'4" ripped Adonis with a 12-inch ding-a-ling who drove a Lambo. She recognized very quickly that I could teach her how to handle money, how to navigate complicated situations with her former work colleagues, how to deal with extended family issues, and most of all, how to be a lady. And this is exactly why women remember the mentor long after she forgets the boyfriend. Women don't fall in love with age, gentlemen. They fall in love with leadership. They don't fall in love with maturity. They fall in love with mastery. And they don't just fall in love with confidence. They also fall in love with competence. All of these things are what makes a man unforgettable. You need to get your hands on one of my most potent ebooks, How to Train Your Woman. So if you want to go from being the kind of man that women leave and become the kind of man that women learn from, you need to get your hands on one of my most potent books, How to Train Your Woman. Yes, you heard that correctly. This book is called How to Train Your Woman, and you can get it at datingwisdom.net.